Good morning to all. Today we will be discussing GST in detail, the updates on the legal front and the changes that has taken place in the world of GST. Now let us understand first one. The first decision is a very good decision given by the court, which says that if you have wrongly instead of CGST, SGST, you had used IGST. If there is no revenue loss to the government, then there cannot be a penal action against you. This is a very good judgment which will be useful to many of you. If you want me to read this thing, I will read out. The case involves a writ petition challenging an order from appellant authority regarding the wrongful cross availing of input tax credit by the partnership firm engaged in wholesale trading of iron and steel. The firm has been registered under the CGST or SGST Act of 2017. The matter arose from a show cause notice indicating discrepancies noted during the scrutiny of the returns for the financial year 17-18. It was aligned that the petitioner incorrectly availed CGST and SGST input tax credit that were not compliant with the investment laid out in the section 16 subsection 2 of the CGST Act. The adjudicating authority confirmed the decisions and the amount of 14,57,108 along with interest of 12 lakhs due to excess input tax credit availed and additionally imposed a penalty of 1,45,000. On appeal, appellant authority upheld these decisions. Subsequently, the petition approached the court to challenge the order. The court noted a recent judgment, Richmond versus the Union of India, that they established the concept that the input tax rate in the electronic ledger should be viewed as a collective pool for different tax types rather than strictly compromised. The court concluded that the mistake made by the petitioner was technical, essentially using the CGST or SGST instead of IGST without any actual loss of revenue, and therefore set aside the impugned order directing the appellant authority to reconsider the matter in light of the new judgment. Thus, the writ petition was allowed and a fresh evaluation was mandated. The next one is proper show cause notice must be issued and cannot be substituted with summary of attachment. In this case, the petitioner contested the issue of summary of show cause notice, that is DRC 01. The show cause notice, for viewers to understand, is issued in the form DRC 01 along with determination of tax, arguing that the absence of proper show cause notice and hearing violated the both statutory provisions and principles of natural justice under the section 75 subsection 4 of the CGST and IGST Act. The petitioner pointed out that the attachment lacked the signature from the proper officer as required by the Rule 26 of the CGST rules, thus rendering the notice ineffective. The respondent argued that the summary of the show cause notice and the attached tax determination contained sufficient information for the petitioner to respond. However, it was conceded that there was no separate authenticated show cause notice issued. The court examined the various sections and the rules, especially the section 73 and section rule 142, and concluded that the proper show cause notice must be issued and cannot be substituted with the summary of attachment. The court held that because before the proper officer and held that a proper show cause notice has to be issued and hence upheld the decision. Then the next one is taxpayers must first exhaust the statutory appeal remedy under the section 107 before approaching the court through a writ petition. In this case, the court held that there is a remedy available under the section 107, and the assessee can avail that remedy first and then approach the writ court, instead of that first only approaching the writ court. Hence, it's an important judgment that first we have to go through where the appeal or anything is possible, and then only approach the High Court for a remedy. If nothing is available, then we can approach High Court for the remedy. The next one is no rule restricting individuals from outside the state from registering in the state. In this case, if you see the Andhra Pradesh GST officials rejected the registration of the GST, stating that the applicant is a non-resident in Andhra Pradesh and they will not be able to give the GST registration to him in Andhra Pradesh. He approached the Andhra Pradesh High Court, and the Andhra Pradesh High Court upheld that under the Constitution, Article 19 of the India Constitution, the court allowed the writ petition, set aside the rejection order, and directed the respondent to register the petitioner under the AP GST Act. The judgment also noted that while the registration would be granted, authorities retain the discretion to monitor the business activities and ensure compliance to prevent tax evasion through no cost were imposed. And it's a very important judgment given by the Andhra Pradesh High Court.